Boom. Here we are
Boom.
again for another session on Moltbot AI this week. That is going to be the topic of discussion, which I'm sure you've seen everywhere else on YouTube and across the internet. Everyone is jumping on the Moltbot or Claudebot or whatever the hell they're calling it today. Um, but we'll stick with Moltbot from now. But before we go into anything, please do check out the sponsor. That is the news guy. His logo's above, his head is below that, and the link is in the description. So
So it's like logo and link.
three call to actions. That's why not a live in person call to action as well. Not many streams will have that, will they?
That's
So
good. That was
there we
good.
go. But
All
Moltbot,
right.
Randy, please tell me you're using it or playing with it.
I tell you what. So when when I sent you the note, like, hey, let's talk about Moltbot. I'm like, okay, was it Moltbot, Claudebot, OpenBot? What the hell is it? And but yeah, so I am not playing with it, and um, for a few different reasons, but probably mainly because I'm not a Mac guy, and it's not available on for Windows yet, or I don't know if it will be ever. Um, so for me to go and set up and kind of tinker around on Mac would, it's going to take me, you know, time to go set it up after I had take time to go like figure out how to navigate a Mac. And um I don't know. And I've looked at Macs before, but it's just not. I've used Windows based machines for so long, um, that it's just not in. I don't know. I look at them like I don't know how do I do this or that or whatever. So
No, I get it absolutely. I was also a big Windows user up until Windows 7, and then they switched it to Windows.
Windows 7. Oh my
Yeah.
god! What?
It's probably like 12 years ago, right? Um, but I was always a Windows guy, and they moved to Windows 8, and it was a completely different layout. So it was like having your hands cut off. I'm like, I can't, like, I just knew where everything was in my computer and I could just get into shit very easily. And it was at that point where I went, fuck it, I'm going to go for a Mac because they don't change the layout on a regular basis like Windows do. So,
Mm, mm,
but it did take me about a month to get used to a Mac, which was not much fun. But
mhm.
yeah, dial-up internet sound, says Ryan McGowan. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's like back in the Windows 7 when right as you were using a dial-up, yeah, having the whole interface, with the modem. Man,
yeah, nah,
Windows 7, yeah.
Windows 7 was the breaking. Well, when
Yeah,
it came to Windows,
nothing against Mac. I'm not one of the Mac haters. I mean, I get it, and some of the um I've looked at like the screens, like the whatever the like the Mac Pros or whatever, the like the full built up screens, and it's all one piece kind of thing. Man, those things look gorgeous. I mean, I get the allure to it, but I'm not, I don't navigate in the Mac universe. I don't have an iPhone. Everything in my world is all Windows and Google based. And so, you know, yeah, that's, I don't have enough time to go figure out the Mac. And nobody's convinced me that the benefit is, worth it to jump from that to from a Windows based.
I would imagine they would have to potentially come out with a Windows-based version. Otherwise, they're going to be cutting off half of their.
I would imagine as well. And, and if they do, I probably would then, because I've got plenty of like stuff here in the office that I could dedicate, something to play around with it, as a dedicated little machine, and kind of, keep it from, doing some other kinds of things. But so here's the thing. So in kind of preparing for this conversation, I'm like, okay, was doing a little background. What are you seeing, that people are using Maltbot for? I mean, that in a real, aside from just playing around, right? And we could talk about that as well. But what are real case scenarios that people are using it for with success? Like, yeah, this is pretty cool.
I don't know the answer to that, to be honest, because it's only been around for a few weeks and it's still a work in progress. I jumped in just because I'm that guy. I can't see someone. I need to play. But I've never seen anything where someone has done something really cool with it and went, this helps me in my day-to-day business life, or this makes me, saves me 4 hours a day, or any crazy shit
Right.
like that. A lot of it is, there's arguments to be had. Is this like Claude with a nice interface and stuff like that? Is it really all hyped up to be as good as it's made out to be? And I think it's a great tool, and obviously people will be able to come up with great ideas and automations that come from that. Like I said before in the mastermind, my biggest concern is the security aspect of it. Now, would I let this thing have access to my business email? No. Now you can prompt it, and it can go away and clean your inbox, can check you in for flights, it can do whatever really you want to prompt it to do. However, would you let this fucking thing use your Apple Pay? Would you let
I
this?
know. Would you let it check you in for a flight? I'm like, what?
Nah, it's and what would be the benefit of checking in for your flight? Because when I check in for a flight, I like to have the boarding cards on my
Yeah.
phone, and I like to double check that shit because, again,
I do too. I'm kind of anal. I'm like, God, I don't want to get there and I can't, like
yeah.
all of a sudden I'm
So
screwed, right? Yeah.
I've got a very rigorous routine when I travel. So passport, wallet, boarding cards. I don't really care for clothes or anything else, but if I've got my passport, my
We
wallet,
could tell.
boarding
Yeah.
cards. um, but so I don't know if I would trust it enough to do that. And the biggest thing for me while playing around with it is, what would I actually trust this to do on a day-to-day basis for me?
No.
That is the thing. Now, it can obviously craft emails for you, responses for you, and
See,
shit.
that's the thing, right? So I was just gonna like nail into that, thinking like, okay, where do I spend, and if I where do I spend time, and if I could have something like deal with it for me, email is one. And I think, when I turn over my email to some bot, I don't know. I mean, that's
Well, here's the thing, Randy. Right?
yeah.
I have a different tool. It's not Moltbot, but it kind of it's obviously got access to my email, and it kind of understands how I reply and all that. Now, it it auto drafts the email for me, but even then, I still have to edit it because it's not perfect. So I done an email about an hour ago. Someone was asking me if I could help train their in-house team, and the response was horrific. And I'm just like, oh. I mean, it wasn't horrific. It didn't like fucking see
What
anything.
is that tool, by the way? Because I think
Fuck.
is it the same tool that you've been using for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been using
So
it for
I tried using that, and I'm like, okay, I don't like this at all. And I couldn't even use that tool, let alone, I'm like, maybe I'm just too anal and too, controlling around some of that kind of stuff. I don't know, but I couldn't even use that thing.
it drafts it for me,
Yeah.
and then I can edit quickly and boom. So it kind of cuts down some time for me. But would I use
Yeah.
Moltbot would I trust Moltbot to craft an email and just ping it for me? No. And you can also
Yeah.
put delay timers on it and all that as well, so that it sends emails at certain times of the day and all this crap. But again, I don't trust it enough.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Black Hole Super Sloth is here. Good to see you, mate. So my biggest thing with it is I don't really trust any AI that's out there. Not just Moltbot, anything. Um, that is the big thing for me. But I think as time goes, maybe someone can build trust for me. I
Mm,
have a Mac Mini that's on, and I think Muzzy said earlier in the mastermind, I think it's probably a good, wise decision for all of the AI tools that you're going to be using and running. Probably just have a different machine from
right.
your manual machine. So if you are churning out images or whatever
Right.
the fuck
Right.
your thing
Right.
is, because Google is, whether you're using Black Hole Super Sloth says he doesn't trust Moltbot either. Is it good for anything? The answer is yes, it is, but
Well,
I,
that's what I'm wondering. Or, like I know you're going to dive into it because it's like the latest, thing out there, and it's like it's getting a lot of buzz and what have you. But does it really have value?
um, I think it can. I mean, it can. Um, you know, eh, you could get it to give you a daily briefing on what you need to do for the day and all of this kind of stuff. Is that useful? Absolutely. Can it go away and scrape the internet and come back to you with stuff?
Right.
Absolutely. It really depends on what you want it to do. Now, could I get it to go and scrape up X, Y, and Z's YouTube videos to come up with YouTube ideas? Absolutely.
But there's all kinds of tools out there that can do that
There are.
right now
Yeah,
anyway.
it's not doing anything that's any different from what you can already do. In
Now,
my
the only thing different might be is that you can essentially message it or talk to it, right? Like via WhatsApp or
WhatsApp or
Telegram or something like that. So versus like when you're talking about scraping YouTube, I've got to go launch that thing. I got to like, hey, this is what I want and blah, blah, blah. Versus, if I could just like pull up WhatsApp and like, yo, Malt Buddy, go do this for me and scrape and
I mean, are you really going to do that in your car anyway, or are you going to be asking this to do shit whilst you're actually working? Who sat in a car all day or whatever it may be and
yeah.
want to talk to fucking Moltbot? I don't even like talking to human beings on WhatsApp, let alone fucking Moltbot. Um, you know, it's so that I get it. If you're working on the move, it could be an absolute game changer in terms of just being able to communicate with it. Go do this, go do that. Ping me an email and scrape this and scrape that. Maybe if you're
Right.
traveling a lot. But realistically, how often do you do that? And can you be asked doing that whilst you're traveling? No. Like when I'm traveling again, I'm not a great traveler. I put the earphones in and I don't want to talk to anyone and I just want to check in
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's it. I don't really want to be fucking talking to Moltbot or anything else
Yeah.
at that point either. So my biggest thing is I think you could be very creative and do a lot of things with it, but would I use it on a day-to-day basis? Probably for research and stuff. That would be it. But again, I can just sit and speak to Claude or speak to
Right.
ChatGPT or any of the other LLMs to do whatever I want anyway. So, is there a big difference? Do I really need to go to the cost of this?
Yeah, yeah. So one of the guys, somebody on the chat said, "Hey, you could, Black Hole says like, hey, other LLMs will start to compete with it." Hey, Terry. By the way, I got Terry on my show tomorrow morning. So, um, and I think that the other LLMs, whether it be Gemini, Claude, Anthropic, whatever, right, Chat, will just essentially like see that and incorporate. And uh OpenAI already kind of has something like that now, don't they? The agent GPT.
Yeah,
Now, I haven't leveraged that at all either, but isn't that kind of somewhat
yeah,
similar? Can it do somewhat the same thing?
yeah. And that kind of goes well into what the LinkedIn users question is, can you train it to write in depth, to write content and all that stuff? Of course you can. You
Hmm.
can feed in to any of these kind of things. And train it up. You can create a custom GPT or Claude skills or whatever it may be, and you can absolutely feed in to make it work to the standard that you suggest, rather than the crap that
Right.
just gets spun out by the LLMs. But obviously, you need to feed into that, train it, and then it can spit out the good stuff. Internal linking, I'm not too sure if you could do that. I'm sure. Well, in fact, you probably can, because you can let it log into your website and do different things. But again, would you trust this fucking thing to go in? It's not something I've tested, but would you trust this fucker to log into your website, do internal links? I mean, it could be adding any old fucking links on there. I'm not suggesting for a second it is. I'm sure it's all pretty safe, but again, there's a certain limitations as to what I would prompt that to do, or what I would allow it to do on my behalf. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah.
but again, it begs the question.
Yo, Bogdan.
Bogdan is here. I'm going to see him tomorrow. Guy's been hiding from me for a few months.
I know he's been like I've reached out to him probably like 4 or 5 times in the last month, and he's like completely ghosted me. I don't
Oh,
know why.
really?
No, not at all. Just pulling his chain. He's a good guy. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Just turning stuff around and letting a AI do something. If I even let something like that go have access to like one of my websites, I would be like constantly digging into it and going like, did it do something else? Is it, like having to recheck it or something as well, or not even recheck the work that it was doing, but I'm like kind of concerned, like, oh, did it do something else that I wasn't even wanting it to do?
Yeah. It's I am probably I don't bogged in as well. I don't trust AI to do anything for me. I think for me, for now, in terms of day to day working life, I am going to stick with custom GPTs and stuff. Um, I will play around with Moltbot and stuff, but I have severe
Mm,
trust issues, and
yeah.
I think for me, it's something maybe in the long term that could be really good. But
Now
um,
I've seen these people like throwing stuff out there and using it for like social media posts and creating the post and as well responding to comments and doing all that stuff. And again, like the trust factor with it is a big hurdle, to get over for me. But I mean, from that standpoint, if it could do that, that'd be like, wow, well, that would be pretty cool. Now, I have seen some of that shit though too, where it's like the bots are talking to each other and they got their own like channel or whatever. Like that's a little spooky.
um, if you email me or shoot me a message in LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, I will sort a link out for you for the mastermind. But uh, Holly is joining here. Give me a second.
Holly, oh my gosh.
There we go.
Oh, Holly girl, what's up?
You know, working, keeping
What?
busy working.
Working.
Um, but nah, nice to see you, Holly.
Nice to see you, Holly.
Sorry, I usually have a call at this time, so
Oh,
I have to prior whatever you say it, whatever.
Prioritize.
Yeah, I have to. So today I was
Course.
able to come on. So
nice.
But Holly, I've got to ask, you're doing some Moltbot stuff or Claude Bot, aren't you?
Yeah, I have it on too many machines here. So we're doing some stuff with trying, I should say, not doing, trying to set up stuff with the platform that me and you, Randy, talked to in Las Vegas. Do you know what I'm talking about? The lady, you know, they're so funny. The lady that we talked to for like 2 hours.
Oh, which lady?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Holly's
So
always talking to
the
ladies.
phone lady. It was the phone lady.
The phone lady. Oh, that lady. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we're using that with Claudebot, and trying to like make it to walk around and leave direct. I don't want to say what it's leaving. We're walking around and having it click on GMBs and stuff like that. So
Right, right. Ah, very interesting. That's good. Yeah, Craig, you know how some of those shows, I'm sure you see the booth babes at some of
Oh,
the iGames. Oh man. Yeah. So when Holly's like, you know, the lady we were talking to, I'm like, oh, which lady? Because I was
here's
talking
the
to a
thing.
few of them.
yeah,
Dude, they've tightened up on that. So at some of the iGaming ones, like 5 years ago, there was ladies who had the branding painted on them. They literally had little panties on, no bra, nothing, and the branding was painted on. But they've tried to cut it down slightly, trying to not sexualize it, but it's still
Boy.
it's still pretty rife, man. So Holly, you should get your ass to one of them iGaming events. Um, it's
I'm there tomorrow, man.
I know. Like, what show is that? What conference? We should have had that one on the show last week.
I was at that one in Barcelona. Fuck me. Like all of the booths, all of the casinos are hiring local like models for the booths, man. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
So
All
yeah,
right. So back to Maltbot. There we go. So Holly's doing a little Maltbotting with some phone activity.
Yeah.
What else are you trying to do with it?
I'm trying to do some CTR stuff because it can like it can do a lot of different stuff. So I know that you guys are not in the mastermind with Garen, but he went over a whole like how he set it up, and he talks through it through Telegram, and he can have it do like, I don't know, it's crazy, like emailing, doing some scheduling. You can do a lot of like, I'm going to use them for more like tasks that I don't want to do, right? Like competitive comparisons, like gap analysis, like that type of stuff. And then probably most of it's going to be like a CTR, like engagement with the GMBs, because
Hmm.
the platform that we're using has that scheduling system in it. So like I'm very like just a few days into it. It's looks powerful, but like I'm not gonna go crazy on jumping on the bandwagon. It can do this, it can make this, it can make that, right? I'm just gonna use it for the stuff that
That's
maybe
an interesting application for that. Actually, you know, as you're right doing CTR stuff and doing some of the stuff like so with it in you're able to kind of set it up so it can essentially go out, and I can't remember the name of this platform, but essentially go out and use that phone number or whatever, use that
yeah.
phone system, and then from there go and navigate and do searches on for
Yeah, it's
GMB.
actually like you can train it to walk, like, so if we did it in Janesville, we can train it to do like 100 different walking sequences. I have it do it walking right now, actually not
Mm,
driving, but I have it walking from like my house to the restaurant up the street, from the restaurant to Walgreens, from Walgreens to Starbucks, and then as it each goes to each place, it's going to interact with the GMB. So, I mean,
right.
like, you can have it do other things if you're reading through the lines, but, like, I'm not saying that it should be doing that, right? But you can, but, like, it's not realistic to if I was at Starbucks and leaving a review, I wouldn't like leave 100 reviews in a day.
Right,
So
right.
I'm following somebody who's doing it, and he's leaving 100. Like I think he has maybe 100, 150s set up, and he's leaving a review at all of them. And I'm like, that's just, it's not like, okay, so you're gonna make a
I mean,
local
that's
guy 10, but it's not gonna work, right? So I'm using it more of like just engagements on different places that I would go anyways to make it look like legitimate Google accounts. Once those accounts look legitimate, I probably am going to end up pulling them off that platform and putting them on an actual cell phone. And then I can do, if I do like an actual drive, so I don't know if I have an end goal on it. I'm just testing it to see kind of what I can do with it.
Interesting. That is interesting.
Like it would be, if it would work on LinkedIn and Facebook, and like Reddit and Quora, if it like will engage and create accounts, and actually keep the accounts live on some of those platforms, like it's fantastic, and I don't have to do that by hand. But LinkedIn specifically and Nextdoor specifically are two platforms that I have always had problems keeping accounts live. So I don't know if and even warming up accounts, it really doesn't matter because I can't get past after 4 or 5 days. So I don't know. I'm going to use it different ways and see. I have a feeling that it's more of a like everyone is so excited and it's like sending me down a rabbit hole of like, okay, well, this is cool, but I'm actually going to end up using it in a month from now? I don't know.
Nah, I think like I said, I would agree, Holly. It can do certain things, but I just wouldn't trust it to do a lot of my actual real things, like doing shit on my real emails and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But someone's saying, can you do manual citations with it?
I mean, anything a person can do, you can do.
Yeah.
Anything that SOP is made into, you can, even if it's not Moltbot, you can do anything that's a SOP, and anything that a human does, almost an agent can do, Claude can build, Moltbot can make. It's not. I think it needs to be approached as it is another tool that you can use, and it's going to be as shitty as the person who uses it. So if you don't understand how to use Claude or you don't understand how to use ChatGPT, it's going to be like, if that's your tool that you choose, then that's fine. But it's like any other tool, right? It's only as good as the user. So if the user is shit, it's going to be shit. And I think you have to keep that in mind. Like some people will say ChatGPT sucks or Claude sucks or Perplexity. It's just the way that person uses it. I went driving twice over the month of January, and I took phones with me. And people will argue with me daily about GMB driving doesn't work. And I changed the grids from 15 to 1 in a matter of hours. So, and it's still there 3 weeks later. So don't say it doesn't work. It's how you use it. It's what accounts you do and how smart you are. So it's the same thing with these bots. So I'm just saying, just like, if you're going to test it, be smart about testing it, right? You put it in its own, like I have it over there. I don't have it connected to any of my other accounts. I have a separate API for it. I have a separate like card for it that only has a certain amount of money on it. They can't renew the money. So, it's good.
That was the other thing. That's some of the stuff that I've seen as far as comments in regards to it is the cost, that the cost can really get can run away on you pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, even my own Claude bot, I don't run it through an API. I run it through console. It logs in with username and password because I pay for the max. I do the $200 max. I don't pay any API charges unless like I have it in a tool or something like that. But then, I would use something like Kimmy or something like that. Like I don't want to spend any extra money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And people may say, well, that's not the right way to do it. You need to use APIs. Everyone has their own way of doing it. So just because I do it this way doesn't mean that you have to do it this way. You have to find what works for you. But if you're just watching and not actually building anything, it's not like you're never gonna be successful, right? Just go and build it. And if you break it, at least I'm breaking it on a totally different machine. And I'll reevaluate in a month and I may not do it anymore. You never know. Because for me, the scheduling system on that platform is perfectly fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Craig is saying it's now OpenClaw. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Now it's called OpenClaw now, not Moltbot.
Yeah, they just renamed it again.
Like when? Just like today? What?
No, it was last week or a week and a half ago, maybe.
God. Fun times. But Craig has said as well, you can audit Shopify using the access points. If you want to have your own OpenClaw bot, you should check out Alibaba's great cloud storage cloud package for £5 a month. And Black Hole said it was built by one man. It will be replaced. You never know. You could be right. Or someone will buy it up. And
I think you just have to remember that it's just another tool. And just because the hype is there doesn't mean you have to jump on. Like I spent, right? I spent like, I don't know, a week on it. Just dinking around when it's not really for my purposes, it's not it's just another tool. So
that's how I kind of look at them. Like, God, if I'm going to spend, I don't know how much time. I mean, think about how many hours, right? So if I were going to spend like, I don't know, 10 hours on setting something up to try to get it to do something for me, I always evaluate, well, am I going to save a bunch of, can I save 10 hours a month by doing this thing once for 10 hours and then, compound that, value over time? Or is it, not? I don't know.
Like, I think the benefit, like for us people that know how to build these and to make them right, is it's the same thing of like, I did this for the driving directions. People were struggling setting it up on their own computer. So I just was like, I'll build it for you. I'll get the hard drive. It's a mini hard drive, right? It's not powerful. I'll get it the hard drive. I'll set it up for you through your APIs, and then I'll send it to you and you plug it in and connect it to the Wi-Fi and it's up and rolling. So like it, like in that sense, it'll bring another revenue income if I want to do that. But I have to test it enough to prove that it's worth changing like my wheel, and I don't change that wheel very often. So I don't know. If it works with LinkedIn and Facebook the way that I need, and Nextdoor the way I needed it to, then maybe, because those are the things that I've struggled with.
Yeah, that's a good comment about the SaaS arriving. You were just mentioning that earlier, Craig, about how much you're getting approached about different things with SaaS to try it or whatever.
Yeah,
crazy.
It's insane. I just can't keep up.
I mean, all of this AI coding stuff, it makes it so easy to kind of throw up ideas. And like I love Robbie Rizek as an example, and he's like building stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're making my head spin with all of this stuff you're putting out. I'm like, it's crazy. And I'm nothing. I'm not saying that in a negative way. Robbie does great stuff. I've bought a number of his things, but my comment is about how these guys, like if you're really creative and have got that mindset like Robbie does, you can just like create all different kinds of things so quickly and easily now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I'm surprised this a few things hasn't been like discussed, but like if you were to buy someone else's tool now, there's some tricky things you can run in that back end if you get some people on it, So it'll be interesting. You better know that person you're logging that exe, that software to.
Yeah,
It doesn't take long. You don't have to know how to code that stuff anymore.
yeah, I know
You can
it.
just ask the platforms to do it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and even if you like, oh, you just run it through like a virus scanner, you just run it through. Like you think that AI isn't going to know how to be like, oh, this is how you get around that stuff,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right about that. And that's why, to a certain degree, I think, when people start talking about SaaS and kind of being replaced or going away, I think some of it is going to be around credibility and trust, obviously. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not just going to go buy something from somebody off of Facebook that says, oh, I've just created this thing. I'm like, dude, if I don't know you, no way am I buying anything that,
Right.
just because it may look or you make it sound cool.
Right. I mean, it's as simple as putting your API in the tools so that, of course, like if you needed to do anything with Claude or whoever the API is, and it could store in the back end and shoot back over to the developer. And it might be like that for a couple months and there's no problem. And then all of a sudden there's
Yeah.
a problem,
Yeah, there's a problem.
I mean, that's why you have different APIs for softwares and you have privacy cards for each of them and you have a hard stop on
Yeah.
those privacy cards. But yeah.
Yeah. So that's a whole nother thing. What do you think? How do you feel about the security of OpenClaw or Maltbot? But do you feel like it's secure?
No, it's not. It's not at all. That's why I have it going on a privacy card and a separate API.
Yeah.
So I'm secure in that sense of like it doesn't have access to the privacy.com website where I can say I want to buy more. Like the logins are not the same. It's not connected to any of my hard drive information. It's not like it can't pull that password. So like on that sense, like it's secure on that drive. And I'm not having it connect to anything that is on this drive, right? So in that sense, yeah, but I'm not using APIs. I'm pretty much using where you log in on the console, which is not the same login as, like everyone has a different one.
Right.
So
Huh.
I don't think that it's very safe though, no. I mean, if you install this on your regular like working computer or something, you're like yeah. I just don't even know what to say about that.
I know. Well, we were talking about this on a call earlier. Is like, yeah, I think I'm gonna start taking an approach where if I'm gonna do any kind of AI activity or agent activity, I'm just gonna isolate it to a completely separate machine, similar to
Yeah.
what you're doing with a mini, right? With
Yeah.
the OpenBot here, OpenClaw.
Yeah.
Just have it completely isolated so that it's not, or at least that it limits the exposure of potential issues.
Yeah. I
Mm.
mean, if we're in the age of AI, I don't know, you know, at some point you're probably going to get hit with something. You're just going to have to be very You're just gonna have to watch stuff. You know, like I use Claude Code and I use ChatGPT. And I don't really mess with very much more, or Notebook LM.
Yeah.
You know, I use my own tools. So if I want a tool and, you know, I may buy a tool and put it on there and see how it runs and then build my own and then take the API off or something. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's going to have to be something like that. So just have to
Could
go
be
in.
like Ryan, you know, just use Lovable and build up your own thing.
Yeah.
Well, that was another conversation we had earlier today.
I know it. I know it. Have you ever played with Lovable, Holly?
No.
Yeah, I just did for the first time this morning. I was like stunned at like a website that it pulled out for me. I'm like, wow.
By the way, the prompting I gave for that website that I churned out, Randy, was very basic. I didn't fuck around too much, and it still shit out something that I would happily put live on the internet.
Well, I used, you know, the process. Somebody mentioned this on our call earlier, but I kind of built out a web design document on. I can't remember who I used. Probably Claude. I like using Claude for that kind of stuff. Built out a great design doc with all of the particulars that we needed for it. And then I took that design doc, and that's what I loaded onto Lovable and said, hey, go build this website based on this design document. And bam, it was like, wow, that was very impressive. So I connected my
do they have
GitHub.
free ones on there?
What's that?
Do they have free ones on their platform?
Yeah,
you can host them?
I just built it with the free. They give you like 5 credits or tokens or whatever the hell they call it, I think a day, and or is it a month? I can't remember. But I use, well, like on the free, you get 5 whatever for a period of time, and then you know, to create. But I created this whole multi-page website, and it used 4.4 credits. I'm like, wow.
Is it hosted too?
I think it can host it. I didn't do it.
For
I
free though?
connected my GitHub to it and then
Oh,
put it over onto GitHub.
on GitHub. Okay.
I mean, you can host it on Lovable if you want, but obviously some people have got concerns where that's hosted and shit like that. So up to you.
But you can supposedly as well. I don't know. I don't have the mind of, you know, for creating apps, but supposedly it, you know, can go out and build apps as well, right? So if you're so like, hey, I want an app that, you know, or software that's going to do this, this, and this, and this, you know, boom, go do it in Lovable. But I don't know.
Or just do it in Claude.
What's that?
Or just do it in Claude.
Yeah.
Claude can build it and just send it up to GitHub too. That's like, you know, like it's a preference of tool, right? So
right.
Just find the tool that you like. And if you want to use a few different ones, that's fine. But that just causes a rabbit hole for me. If I start building and looking at other platforms and I'm like, oh, well, this one does this. I'm like, at the end of the day, I don't really care what it looks like until it starts to rank. I just need to get it ranking. Once it ranks, then I can go back and make it look.
Well, here's the thing, and this is so, and I know what you're saying, like, well, you could just use Claude to go do some of this stuff as well. So I've used Manus to go build like some websites, and we were talking about this a little earlier as well, is that Manus, it seems like it kind of just, you can look at it like, well, that it just seems like it's kind of spitting out very similar looking websites, or it's kind of using the same template, I think, as somebody mentioned, and with not a lot of creativity, even if you're trying to prompt it to be creative, versus the thing like with Lovable, it was like, I don't know. I was just really impressed with it. It was.
So so like with Claude, you just use, I think, the plugins like top design or something like that. and then you use a Skrill and just have it put that into memory. But Manus, like on the front end, is Manus, on the back end, it's Claude. If you're using Manus, you're using Claude.
Yeah.
So you might as well just use Claude.
And Black Hole Super Sloth's just giving us a kick in the teeth, Randy. Lovable is terrible for SEO, apparently.
That's
But
why,
when you're
like,
saying, but he's saying because of client-side rendering and JavaScript. But that would be like the client-side rendering. That would be if you're hosting it on Lovable, right?
I would guess so. That's what that means to me.
Not the code itself. Like if I download the code and I put it either on GitHub or on whatever website I'm hosting, and then even convert it so it's on a WordPress, wouldn't that kind of eliminate the rendering issue? I don't know. Seek Globe. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Seek Globe. I've never heard of it, but I'm going
I know everybody's like, what the Ryan, what the hell is Seek Globe? Yeah.
I swear, if I go down a rabbit hole with this today, I'm not going to be happy.
like what?
Wait, is it okay? That can't be it. Some porno thing shows up.
Seek Globe.
Is it ran?
What is that? I can't even. I did a search on Seek Globe and I didn't get anything.
It says like two-way trackers. It's not.
Yeah, Ryan, what is that shit? I'm struggling
Dude,
to find
it's
this.
probably his website, and he just got 3 people to
Yeah,
look
right.
at it.
You just got a bunch of shit. Nice.
Getting us to do his CTR for him.
Oh, search Atlas. I'm sorry, I misspelled.
Ah,
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not ever using that product, but
you're not what?
no. What?
Well, I thought you said there you weren't going to use something.
Yeah, the product that Ryan just threw up there.
All right. Let me just see.
Did you look it up with Lovable?
Yeah.
That is.
Um.
So, Craig, what are you going to do with the Open Claw?
Well, the thing is, like Holly suggested she didn't want to do it. I get down the rabbit hole just because Kazra had it. So I thought, fuck it, I need some of this. And I couldn't really do anything other than goofy shit. Like, it's not going to make me money. Sure, it could make a few funny videos and all that stuff, but I don't know, mate. I really don't know what I would use it for on a day-to-day basis other than research. I don't fucking know. I really can't see how it would turn into.
Okay, so Craig, I'm going to give you one. Okay.
Yep.
You can actually, if it works, you can go to have it post in Facebook Marketplace and use an AI model and have it sell some, hi honey. My wife is down here, so just a minute.
Selling what? What are we selling?
Possible, like used undergarments, and do it off Facebook Marketplace.
Wait, time out.
Why are you
people are buying used undergarments on Facebook Marketplace?
That's
AI
a thing,
models, yeah.
That is a thing. But the big problem here is, why are you suggesting that I do it? Whose undergarments am I selling?
You said that you aren't going to make money with it, so
I mean,
why are you getting all red?
Just because I always get the blame of selling fucking undergarments and shit.
There you go. I'm supporting the cause.
I am like stunned that people actually buy something. I don't even want to go search it on my Facebook account because I don't want that popping up into my.
Go to SEMrush or Ahrefs.
Yeah.
And look at the search volume for that shit. It is
Yeah.
frightening the amount
Yeah.
of people that sell that shit.
And you can get the AI model to show it off and to do a picture, and nobody will knows. Go to Goodwill, get a bunch of underwear, mail it out.
Okay, that is brilliant. That is just brilliant. Yeah.
Get Nathan. You just use Nathan's face to show it off, but day-to-day use for Craig, he says. Oh God. Fucking
I
hell.
had no idea. I'm so naive about that shit. That is so funny. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, dude, there's fucking chicks on OnlyFans and everything all over TikTok and everything selling their panties and all that shit. It's
Well,
that's a
I
common
can
thing.
understand that on OnlyFans. I mean, there's certain platforms you're like, well, sure, that having, but I think of like Facebook Marketplace is just like a big garage sale. I'm not
Oh, come
thinking
on.
there's people have
Garage
got
sale,
like,
you're selling undergarments. It's
yeah,
fine.
I'm not walking down the street to the garage sale and there's the old lady
Dude, you're
selling her
not thinking
panties
about
down
it
there.
the right way. You're not going to actually want to sell undergarments. You're going to pitch them on pictures of you and your
Uh-huh.
OnlyFans. You just get them to pull in and talk about this, right?
Yeah.
Get to know them, have a connection, and then convert them on whatever.
Yeah.
Nathan
This would
wants
not work with you. I already know that. So that's why you don't see my ads.
Yes.
Oh man.
That is funny as hell.
But if you do it, Randy, Nathan wants his cut.
Yeah.
The idea. Nathan's
Yeah.
the idea guy. And you're the chief implementer.
Oh, that is funny.
But
Uh,
so I don't think
so
Randy's gonna be
somebody,
looking
I was going
at
through some of the back comments. Do you think like this open claw, whatever, do you think even a month from now, do you think that will have legs? Will it, somebody said like, yeah, 3 months from now it'll be old. I wonder even a month from now, will it be, or get replaced from whatever the next bright shiny object is?
I think it really depends. Like if Holly or people like Holly utilize it for what they're doing, then of course it's going to continue. It's just how long can the guy continue to develop such a thing without charging for it? Why would he continue to advance it? Where's
Is it open source?
Yeah. So it's open source. I'm sure it took the guy a lot of time and effort, but what's the long-term play with it? And are some of the other big guns going to come in and just swoop up the idea and run with it themselves, who are charging money, who can afford to implement faster and maybe add additional security measures as well? So Black Hole Supersoft said that's the best application. But yeah, I think it depends. If there's people like Holly going to get it to do some CTR stuff, and I think it'll have its place in the industry for sure. But I think
that is pretty smart about maybe thinking about it from a CTR thing. So you could essentially go out. We found, a source at the affiliate world that Holly is using this thing right now that was a very inexpensive way to go and essentially use proxies. And then, yeah. I forget about
very inexpensive.
Yeah.
Have you tried it yet, Randy?
No, not yet.
Yeah, it works pretty good.
I was waiting for you to actually say like, yeah, right. You were my test bunny on it. So
Randy,
well, I put it on somebody else's radar and they were the test bunny, and then they came back in a week and was like, it can handle what you do. So yeah.
Randy, if we sat here and said that Moltbot or OpenClaw or whatever the hell it's called was the best thing since sliced bread, would you have dived into it today?
You would have to like give me like, this is how I'm using it and how it's either making me money or saving me time, one of the two, right? I'm like, huh, really?
Yeah, so you're one of those guys that just push a few buttons and let other people do the testing. I like that. I like that.
Well, I do evaluate. I'm like, yeah, it seems like a neat idea. Maybe I can get Holly to test it.
That is true. I'm pretty sure every time we're together, he says like, "You should test that, Holly."
I got an idea for you, Holly. What?
Hey, it
Yeah.
only costs you money for the mini Mac and all that shit just for a test. But yeah, go
Holly,
use
you probably had one of those sitting around anyway.
Yeah, I have 6. I don't have mini Macs. I run it on a Windows machine, so I have 6 anyways because they're connected to my real live drives. So I had a couple extra anyways. It wasn't a big deal to me.
Randy.
Oh, Randy, what?
What a guy. What a guy.
I am going to explore something that I was going to make a mention of that I thought was pretty darn cool. Was I just got what the heck happened to it? I had it set. Is this thing that Google has started? I got to go. I got this thing. It's like, hey, boom. What is it? It's from the Labs CC. Where now it's like I must have opted into like, yeah, I'd like to test stuff or be a part of or whatever. Like, sure. And now it sends me an email to like my day ahead. So it sends me an email every day and it's like, hey, here's your whole stuff, top of mind things you got to do. Here's some things you got to follow up based off of all of the stuff, whether it's in my emails or my calendar or any of this other stuff or things that I have had through chats. And I don't know, it's pretty slick right now. I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool.
Nice.
But I can email it as well using my Gmail plus a CC and then go email to it. And then I can tell it to go do something or something like that it's supposed to essentially be able to do it. I don't know. More AI stuff I'm getting my head around, I guess. But that just started, though, a couple of days ago. I'll let you know.
Yeah, let us know. But anything else to ask about OpenClaw?
I'm reading Nathan's note here, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that would be interesting.
I mean, so that's the thing. It's like, so that 404 you can run with Screaming Frog, right? So I'm using it as something like that. I don't have a bot that can do it right now, right? So you're just replacing if that's what you're doing. I don't want to go on a rabbit hole to just replace a tool that I'm currently using.
Mm-hmm. But to do something like what Nathan threw out there, you almost have to already have it trained or set up to be able to do that process, right? So it's not
well, that
like
was specifically for the 404s. You can set a cron up.
Right.
Shoot it every day to send you the report, right? So that specific one is probably not the best example. It's cool that it can do it, but it's just replacing Screaming Frog with another tool.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though, I can't just like think today I've got my OpenClaw built and blah blah blah, and they're like, oh, I need to go check, 404s on this site XYZ.
It does not take that long to train the model. If you
Yeah,
are,
that's what I'm
you
saying.
are
Is that
writing a goddamn book for that thing, seriously, Just tell it what you want it to do. I'm not a complex person, so I don't give any of my tools complex, and they understand what I want. But I also walk them through, the process, but I don't give it like a book, and it does not take that long to train.
Ryan, man, you are, dude, Splash Dash. What the hell is that? Never heard of that.
Pebble Dash.
Splash Dash. All-in-one local SEO reporting dashboard. That's probably his product too. No, I have not looked at this. I don't know what that is. Huh.
I'm not even gonna look because I know it's gonna cause me Nathan's or Ryan's stuff he's posted before. It just causes me to go down Nathan too, a rabbit hole, and I end up being like so irritated, and because I didn't get anything done for the day, so I'm not looking.
I'm not looking. Oh man.
What you'll see types of reports you can run today. Wow. Huh.
Damn it! Now I'm gonna look.
It's got that guy though, Ruan Marinho. Is that his tool? I wonder. You know who that guy is, Ruan?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's just
Very
another
good.
tool that I don't want to pay for. I will just build it. I might buy it for a month and then get all the reports and whatever that I need.
Yeah. And then just go drop it into Claude and say, let's go build this thing.
Pretty much. I think that's the way to do things going forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fork it. But guys, we are out of time. But thank you everyone for taking part. And make sure you do check out the news guy. The logo is above and a link below. And do you guys think we'll eventually settle on the best apps for each task, or will it be a revolving door forever? Nah, I think it will settle down. People will see, be able to spot the stuff that's just churning out. I just think it's because it's new right now. Everyone's just trying to shell out some stuff and get a quick cash grab. But I think long term, people will get fed up with that, and they'll have to settle on the tried and tested and trusted sources out there.
I don't know. I think this is where I think it will go, is that more people at least in our industry anyway, I'll say this, that the more that you get comfortable in kind of like how to go create stuff, is that I will just go build a tool for what I want, specific to my need. And so instead of like going and paying SEMrush and utilizing only 30% of what SEMrush can do, instead I'll just say like, well, this is what I want to do in that particular category, and then just kind of go out and build my own tool to go do that, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I think it will become much more customized to and tailored, that people will like, yeah, this is what I want. I could be wrong about that as well, but that's what I think is going to end up happening. But I'm a lazy ass bastard too, so I kind of rely on people building shit. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I like that. I could use a lot of that in there.
And everyone's best app is going to be different based on how they use it too, right?
Yeah,
So
I know.
as an industry, an SEO industry can't agree on anything. On anything they can agree on, I swear to God. So it's based on who you follow and if you follow what they teach or what they believe, then you're going to agree that the best tools are what they say, right? So if you're someone who people follow, I mean, I could say some random tool is the best thing ever, and people will go get it just based on if they follow me and they like it, right? And so I think it just always will go back to, for the most part, any of the tools, the base tools that we use can build whatever we want. Just build what you want. You might have to like buy a subscription for a month for the SaaS provider to get a feeling of what they do, and then go build it. It's an interesting space for SaaS providers, because I would actually like to see most of the SaaS providers have it online versus sending it out like software wise, but then you're going to have API issues with that too, because it'll save in the back end.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. It'll be interesting over the next 6 months, but I'm trying not to go into rabbit holes like as much as possible. You know what I mean? Something gets released, I'll let Garen go do it, and then if it's cool, he'll tell me. You know what I mean?
We all need a guinea pig.
There's my man, Robbie Rizek, showed up. All right. Good to see him. Nice. All right. Hey, next week, I cannot be on the show, so I got to go. I'm going with my daughter to a college visit, so.
Randy, every fucking week, there's a college visit or some other thing.
Hey, your day's coming. Don't worry.
But nah, all good, all good. But everyone, thank you for joining. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
All right.
See you later, everyone.